When I found out I was pregnant with my son, I made the logical choice to pick the father that made the most money. His real dad was working at McDonald's for like $8.25 an hour. I don't want that as a man. And I got pregnant.
I'm her side dude. Of course I come over when you go to work. You work every day. I'm her side dude. Of course I want y'all to stay together. Who else money we gonna spend? I'm her side dude. Of course my number is saved as Fashion Nova. I send all the promotions. I'm her side dude. Of course we met at her job. She don't go nowhere else.
What up, dude? This your boy Peanut, the people's nut, the practitioner of life, giving helpful advice. Back with another one. Today's topic is going to be on blind trust. Many men, let me stop playing. Many men get burnt when they blindly trust. So don't just listen. Observe, protect, and be ready if things go left. Never, never just listen to her words. Her actions will tell you everything you need to know. Because if you're not paying attention, you could be the one paying the price at the end. The point of this video is to save a lot of men, especially my young dons, especially in this dating market, because this ain't the same dating market I grew up in. A lot of us learned the hard way, but it wasn't as brutal as this dating market is right now. So her words may sound sweet, but her actions will expose the truth. So you better be paying close attention and listen up. But for my young dons and some of my older gentlemen, comment down below and share your experience when you notice some women words don't match their actions. But let's jump into this first clip, man. This first clip is a stylist sharing a situation, why you shouldn't trust and how sneaky some women are. So let's jump into it.
Women.
No. A client of mine, single mom, has 3 kids. They all have different dads, but by her own doing. So she has enough of her own money, but she always wants a man with more money. So she dates these men in higher positions and whatnot, and they have broken up with her. And what she actually does is she goes and gets artificially inseminated and tells them that she's pregnant by them. She lies to these men, and then by the time the paternity test comes out, obviously they know they're not the dad. She's done it 3 times.
And all the kids are by just different
donors.
Holy. What a sicko. How does she justify that?
She's got a couple screws loose, so she's just, I want more kids, and I want someone who also wants kids. And I was like, well, have you tried asking these men to have kids with you? She's like, well, they just keep breaking up with me. And I'm like, I wonder why.
Have you met the kids?
Yeah.
Are they weird?
No, they're spoiled.
Okay.
They're spoiled kids.
Oh, so it's like a Freudian thing.
Yeah.
Oof, okay.
Man, that clip just brought up a lot of bad emotions. I remember my first girlfriend. She was my high school sweetheart, man. We was together for 6 years. 6 years. 6 long years. Man, she used to try to run so much game on me. I remember this one time, and this was when we was getting ready to break up, but she wanted to show me some pictures she took. This is back when you had to take your pictures to CVS to get developed and everything. She was so excited to show me these pictures. So she was showing me these pictures. And the pictures were in her room. And then I remember it was a guy in the background, and she told me it was around the time that her mama was there and somebody was coming to visit. Mind you, she had an analog clock in the background and a baby picture I just gave her 2 weeks ago. She had told me those pictures was old and that her mama was still at the house. But the clock said 2:30. So if it was 2:30 a.m., her mama probably was asleep. Or if it was 2:30 p.m., her mama was at work because she was a school teacher. So either way, she was lying and she was out there moving foul. So you got to pay attention to the signs. Trust your gut, because I didn't trust my gut. We stayed together for a couple years, and then she cheated on me again. So you have to trust your gut. I'm not speaking from all of this red pill stuff. I'm speaking from experience dealing with women. This next clip is a bodyguard sharing his stories on how deceitful and how sneaky women can be. So you better be careful when you letting your girl go on them girls' nights. Like, I'm not insecure. My girl can go out whenever she wants. I trust her.
Do you still trust women after working in nightlife for 20 years?
You know, obviously you see a lot of cheating. I remember a girl was on a girls' night out in the bar. And she basically, her friends left and she got talking to a guy. Obviously, she had the wedding ring on. The guy is actually somebody I know very well. All her friends leave. She says she wants to stay. One of the friends kind of lingers for a little while, trying to get her to leave and knows what's about to go down. The girl just shoos her away. She ends up leaving. So now it's just her and him. Obviously, we're walking, we know where this is going to end up. So he's looking at me going, yo, she's married, she's married. I'm like, dude, I don't want to part of this, right? Wow. Yeah, I don't really know the girl. Anyway, she gets on the phone and she's right near me at the end of the bar and she calls her husband, hey babe, Stacey's vomiting and stuff. I'm going to stay with her and look after her. And so I'm going to be home late or I might just sleep at Stacey's house, depending on how she looks. I don't know who Stacey is, but she sure as shit ain't in the bar at this point, right?
Oh my God.
Right. So fast forward a few hours, you see them making out and the whole nine. They disappear. I believe dumpsters were involved, right? Yes.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Well, he disappeared. It's a hidden spot, He comes back in. He's like, Rishi, I'm out. And I'm like, daps me up, leaves. I'm like, dude. She comes in 3 minutes later, just adjusting herself, calls her husband, has him pick her up at the bar, comes in, and she's introducing him to people like nothing happened. And I'm just like, I'm scarred. I'm scarred for life.
That's
beyond.
A lot of men in those type of professions, bodyguard, personal trainers, they have major trust issues because they've seen the dark side of female nature. They've seen how sneaky women can be. But my motto has always been, if it ain't in my face, I don't give a fuck because I'm not about to police no pussy. I'm not. She gonna do what she do in her own time. But once I pick up and recognize the pattern, it's a wrap. You got to be quick to walk away. But you can't go into every relationship not trusting. A wise man once told me, if you want to know if you can trust somebody, you have to trust them. So you got to give people enough rope to hang themselves. And I'm not saying every woman is out here sneaky because they're not. But there are a lot of women that want their cake and eat it too. So you have to be vigilant. This next clip is a bit of a long one. But here's the mother-in-law of the ex-husband coming to his house to tell him about himself and why she is mad at him that her daughter didn't get the house. Stay tuned.
Thanks to you, my daughter has nothing. Nothing. And I want to know why the house was put in your mother's name when you've got two flashy cars on the drive. Sorry? Is that really the way to speak to your ex-mother-in-law? Is it?
Well, it is, yeah. Listen here.
So could you please answer my question? Why is this house in your mother's name and not? Why did my daughter not know about this?
Well, unlike your opportunistic. That's how you say the word. Opportunistic. That's how you say it. Daughter, yeah. Unlike her, I'm a very caring son. So I thought, well, I love my mother. Let me buy my mother a house in case if I sadly maybe pass away before my mother.
No, I'm sorry.
But it could be likely. So my mother has a nice, lovely house.
You didn't think to mention this to my daughter? You didn't think to mention it to her?
I don't need to love her.
I mean, she married you. She married you and she loved you and she trusted you. And all the time, her home, which she decorated and did things for the garden,
by
all that jazz.
With my money.
Wait. We got to pause this. Like he said, it wouldn't have mattered if her daughter stayed there. But the fact that her mom showed up at this man's house and upset that she didn't get the house in the divorce says a lot. It says and it shows her true intentions. But I guess the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Was it your money though, or was it your mother's money?
Oh, my mum's money. Well, no, I bought it for my mum. It was a gift.
Really? And you couldn't buy flowers like most people do for their mothers?
Oh, no, I bought the flowers for your daughter.
I'm glad you found this amusing.
If you look there as well, there's a nice little flower bush right there. If you want, you can take a flower as well. You can take two.
You are very, very cruel. You are very cruel.
I'm not cruel.
You are very, very cruel. I can't believe my daughter was
intellectual. is what
I
you
don't
can
think
call
you're
me.
intelligent.
Intellectual is what you can call me.
If you were
your
intelligent,
opportunistic
you wouldn't have
daughter,
put the
yeah,
house in your mother's
your
name.
little narcissistic daughter, she played this whole thing like a game.
Narcissistic?
Yes, love.
I suppose you even know what that means.
Well, love, I know
Narcissistic, because you
what
certainly
the
don't know how
words
to
mean.
write your
And
name
I
down on the
played
house.
this game like a game
Sorry?
of chess, and I won.
Is it all about? It's not all about winning, you know.
Well,
This was about
well, it was with
trust
her.
and
She
marriage.
thought, you know what? She set up everything like a game of chess. Cool, there's a house here, there's cars here, there's businesses here, there's everything. We have a great life. Cool, let me just take it all. She got nothing.
You have got... Do you think maybe? Oh, do you know what? Karma's a bitch. Karma is a bitch. You will get your comeuppance, don't you worry. Thanks to you, my daughter has.
I can't be the only one sitting here wondering. I wonder what the mother had called her daughter cruel if she put that man out on his and took the house from him and left him destitute and had to figure it out for herself. Because it sounds like it's a double standard at this point. And the mama just mad that the husband outsmarted her daughter. He saw the play, he protected himself, so now he get to keep all his assets. And the wife got to go figure it out. The ex-wife, my bad, got to go figure it out. I'm not sure if any of these clips are staged, especially the one I'm about to show next. Because people get on the internet and say anything. But we know this type of thing does happen. That's why you have 40% of men that are not the father of their child. But let's listen to this woman rationalize why she did paternity fraud.
It really be your own people, dude. My 16-year-old just found out that his dad isn't his real dad anymore because of my bitter-ass sister. She claims it's for his own good. But in what way is that for his own good? When I found out I was pregnant with my son, I made the logical choice to pick the father that made the most money. His real dad was working at McDonald's for like $8.25 an hour. I don't want that as a man. And I got pregnant, and so I picked the richer dad. And although the richer dad didn't take care of him and hasn't been around, he does pay child support, and he pays a lot, and it pays for a majority of my rent. Well, my sister never liked that, and I finally let her have my son thinking I could trust him. And she tells my son and confides in him that his dad isn't his real dad. And now he went and found his real dad behind my back with my sister. And they are all trying to fight and get my son taken away from me. My son doesn't want to live in my house. We haven't talked in 3 days. I think it's the most miserable thing a person can ever do is ruin some shit like that. I picked the right choice. Now who's going to pay my bills now? Because now they also told that the guy that's been on child support all these years, and he's trying to come after me and sue me for all the money he's been paying. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I didn't do anything wrong here.
For this example, and many others like it, this is why paternity tests should be mandatory at birth. Meaning, you take your ass and go get it yourself. Don't wait for the government or anybody else to verify what you want to know. Because these paternity tests are cheap and they're easy. So I would advise any man that's having a child, do the paternity test. Even if y'all married. Many of men, hell, even married men, have found out years later that this child that they raised or children that they raised and put all of this emotional energy, time, and finances into ain't theirs. Because some women, I'm not going to say all, some women have no remorse or empathy for a man's plight. So they will put that baby on you and make you take care of it so she won't suffer being a single mom or being by herself. So, hey, get that paternity test. And again, this is why you don't blindly trust. And that goes for anybody. I'm not just talking about women. That goes for anybody. Don't blindly trust. My mama used to always tell me this. Trust, but verify. I think men are wising up, especially because of social media, statistics, and all the data. Men, we accept facts. We're not going to just go based off our feelings. But here's another woman. But this one is the ex-wife coming to the ex-husband's house saying why she's mad that he had the house in his mother's name. Let's look.
Doesn't matter whose name it is under. All that matters is that we're divorced and this house which I've paid for isn't for you.
Well, you haven't paid for it if it's not under your name, no?
Well, no, it doesn't matter whose name it is for.
Well, it does, because we were together.
Okay, well, I bought this house as a gift for my mum.
Well, why are we living in it then?
Because it doesn't matter.
Well, it does, because if we
Well,
divorce...
no, yeah, we're not living in it anymore, are we? Well, I am.
So how long are we going to keep that a surprise for then?
It doesn't matter. You didn't pay a single penny for the house.
I contributed my fair share to this place.
How did you?
Cooking, cleaning, one less thing for you to do.
Oh, well, congratulations.
That was the
You can cook and
agreement.
clean somewhere else. Look, you divorced me, okay, yeah? You have no right to this house. I knew that this was going to come because since we first got married or whatever, that's all you're interested in. You're only interested in the financial side of stuff. And then when shit hits the fan, things start to go a bit low, you call for a divorce. Cool, I'll let you have that divorce.
No.
But when I bought this house, I put this house in my mum's name. I bought this house as a gift for my mum.
So you had no right to lie to me about it.
I didn't lie to you. Didn't lie to you at all.
You said that you bought the
We
house.
lived in the house. Yeah, I did buy the house. I bought the house.
So why did you not tell me when you bought the house?
I didn't need to
Under your name?
because it wasn't your business.
But we were together. We were married.
Well, we're not now. We're not now. You divorced me, and it's clear to see why you divorced me.
Yeah, because you're a liar.
I'm not lying, Stacey. You divorced me because that's what you was interested in. And then when business became a bit low, you know, since COVID, you wasn't there.
Don't even
You
bring
were just
COVID
complaining.
into
You were
it.
just complaining. Oh, don't even bring COVID into it. Look, back to my business, and you weren't happy with it. And now, because things are becoming good again, that's when now you're back. And then when you found out, yeah, okay, that after the divorce proceedings, there's nothing for you. That's why you're back, isn't it?
The biggest thing is that you lied to me for however
So
long we were
what did
married
you
for.
want? What did you expect? Do you think that you've earned a share of this house?
Absolutely.
For
I
what?
made it homely.
For what? Cooking and cleaning.
Making it homely. I made it.
You made it homely?
I made it a lovely place for us living together.
No,
And I
not
found out
really.
it's for your mum.
You've made it into a hellhole.
How? It's clean. It's laid out lovely. It's homely. It's
You've not
welcoming.
been here for 6 months.
Well, yeah, because you've been lying to me this whole time.
I've not been lying to you.
You told
You
me
never
bought this
asked me.
house.
Yeah, I did buy this house. You never asked me once. Is this house in your name? You never asked me that
Why do
question.
I need to ask that? If you're buying a house, you're only going to assume it's going to be bought for yourself.
No, you buy a house for your children, a house for your mum.
We don't have kids.
Exactly. I'm saying if you have kids, you buy it for your kids. I'm not like you. I don't just buy it for myself, you know.
This is irrelevant. My biggest issue is that you have lied throughout the whole time we were
It
together.
doesn't matter. We're not together anymore. Me, you can go your own way into your own shared house with your parents, whilst I'll stay here in the house which I've bought.
Yeah, and lie to the next person that you date. So good luck to whoever that is.
Well, no, I'm protecting myself actually.
How are you protecting yourself? You just
Protecting
lied to
myself.
it. And
Yeah.
you lied to it throughout the whole relationship.
You know what, Stacey? I'm gonna get back inside my house. Okay? Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Yeah.
We've been seeing this play a lot more. Even famous men like Hakimi, that soccer player, he pulled this move. So it might be a play for you, man. If you still want to get married, make sure you hide your assets, put them in your mama's name, put them inside of a trust, do something so she can't just run off with all of your cash and prizes. This last clip shows why women believe they're better cheaters and better liars, because the men that they often cheat with don't want to move up. And you got to be careful. And this is why you don't blindly trust again. I know this is a skit, but a lot of times this stuff happens.
I'm her side dude. Of course we fuck raw. We love each other. I'm her side dude. Of course I come over when you go to work. You work every day. I'm her side dude. Of course I want y'all to stay together. Who else money we gonna spend? I'm her side dude. Of course my number is saved as Fashion Nova. I send all the promotions. I'm her side dude. Of course we met at her job. She don't go nowhere else. I'm her side dude. Of course our dates are out west bumbafuck so we don't run into you or your peoples. I'm her side dude. Of course your second child don't look like you. That's my baby. I'm her side dude. Getting head is a part of sex. I'm her side dude. Of course our homegirls cover for us when we out. I'm her side dude. Of course we have sex when she on her period. She told me you don't do it. Now we got a soul tie. She's never getting rid of me. I'm her side dude. Of course we call to see how far away you are. I'm her side dude. Of course I coach her on how to gaslight you into thinking nothing's going on. I'm her side dude. Of course if you catch us together I'ma act gay. I'm her side dude. Of course we got married at work. We didn't jump the broom, we jumped the stapler. I'm her side dude. Of course I fake like I want y'all to break up and we can be together. That's a part of the fantasy. I'm her side dude. Of course she has to work late on February 15th. That's my day.
True story. I've been the unknowingly side dude twice in my lifetime, where these women did not tell me that or disclose to me that they're in a relationship or married or separated. And they had their husbands calling me because of the husband still paying their phone bill or their boyfriend still paying their phone bill. And I had to walk away because I don't like that drama. Because it's been one time where I got into a physical altercation with a chick that was lying to me about her baby daddy staying with her. And I don't like to put myself in those situations. And you can avoid those situations. Hopefully you can avoid them situations. And hopefully you make it out safe. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit terrified when we was scrapping. Because I didn't want this guy to pull out a gun or stab me because he was a hood dude and she was a hood chick. I shouldn't have been messing with her. I shouldn't even spent the night over her house. But you live and you learn. I'm trying to save a lot of you young dons from going through these situations. But I'd like to hear from y'all, man. Comment down below that one experience that opened your eyes, that women aren't just sugar and spice and all that nice stuff that you grew up learning and you couldn't wait to get your girlfriend and you just wanted to trust and love her. Comment down below that one experience that opened your eyes to the female nature. This is your boy Peanut, the People's Nut. Peace.